Let's have a conversation.
Thank you for having me on. It's always a pleasure to talk to you, and I'm sure I'll see you at one of these events again
all
soon.
Time we got Mark with Mindful Reality Podcast, who I've been a guest on, and it was a blast.
Thank you for having me, honestly, and I cannot wait to do it again. We're gonna do this again in the future. I just know it.
Mimi, in the event that you're seeing this video, it means that something has gone terribly wrong. From the moment that I saw you in that storage room telling Jesus that he was way too stingy with the common sense, I knew that we connected on a spiritual level. I knew that you would be one of my favorite house guests. I watched you navigate through drama, gossip, fighting. You stayed true to yourself. You didn't lie to people. You didn't overcommit to anything. I wish that you had played the game just a little more. Maybe get an HOH or two under your belt to make some decisions. But I know that you're going to succeed at anything that you do in the real world. I hope to see you for that interview. I hope you have a good time at home with your husband. And when it comes to the common sense of the remaining house guests, the math is not mathing. Catch you on the flip side. What's up, everybody? Good evening. Good evening. It is a sad day in the Big Brother house, as I lost arguably the most unintentionally hilarious house guest in Big Brother history. Let me get to these comments really quick. Hanging out for Cameron the comp beast. At least he's a straight shooter. Can't wait for this to start. It has arrived. I haven't been kept up on the feeds. I've been sort of up on the feeds. What an ending, y'all. But I have to get to all these comments. But what an ending, Luis. Good evening, Mark and chat. Good evening, Ed. I think the BB gods don't like us. They definitely don't. They definitely don't. And thanks for the super chat. I appreciate that. That was the Mimi I wanted all season. The Mimi we got in the last 5 minutes of her stay in the house was the Mimi that she should have been as soon as she got on the block. It wouldn't have been hard to convince people that Corey is slimy. It would not have been hard. That was not a hard sell. That was not a hard sell. She just wasn't trying to sell anything. Even Julie said that. Julie was like, Nicole has not been trying to campaign. We'll see what happens. And it's like, we know what's going to happen because she didn't try. That video was hilarious. Thank you. That was all improv. No joke. I came up with that whole thing when I turned on the camera. Except for the math ain't mathin' part. I said I have to have that at the end. But the whole rest of the speech, I just made up on the spot. Yes, indeed. What's up, Ma? They kept saying Felicia is not going to win a comp. She was so close. This number that she had. Hold on. Once she put 49,500 minutes went by with Jared being in the house after the zombie comp, I was like,
what sense does that make? The math is not mathing.
And effing Bowie Jane takes home her first HOH win. I don't know if this is a great time for it or a poor time for it. It's kind of weird.
What sense does that make? The math is not mathing.
I accidentally just did that, but I didn't stop it because I was like, maybe it was meant to play twice in her honor, in her memory. But I was really looking at it and thinking, this would not be a week that Bowie Jane wants to win, right? Because I'm thinking to myself, you've rode this middle strategy so hard. Nobody's going to be targeting you. I guess it's never a bad time to win an HOH. It's just interesting because I don't know what she's going to do with it. I feel like if she's trying to stay right in the middle, she would probably put the mamas up, Felicia and Sari next to each other. That's kind of what I think if she was still trying to play the middle. But I know that Cam is going to want her to target Corey and America. Corey and America are to target Corey and America. I don't know if it just went off. But Corey and America are probably going to want her to target Cam, possibly one of Jag or Matt, or maybe Jag and Matt. I don't know. But the sides are going to want to take shots at each other via Bowie Jane. But if Bowie Jane does not want to do their bidding and wants to stay in the middle of the war and be Switzerland, she's going to probably put the mamas up. That would be my guess. The math isn't math. And Mimi was shocked to see that Sari. Yeah, she was so shocked. She guessed. Let's talk about her guess, though. She guessed that Cam and America are related. Cam and America.
I'm just like, these people are, I don't know if they're sane or if I'm sane. Like, I could be the crazy one. Mm-hmm.
Those would be some strange cousins or whatever they would be. That was a weird guess. Corey in America? I mean, Cameron in America? I did play the math is not mathing. You missed it. You missed it in all its glory. Bowie gets 27. Yeah, her guess was bad. Like, I'm thinking to myself, I think she added a 0 to that. I think she put 270. But either way, I think she was just like, I hope that Felicia goes over. And she went way over. Way over. That was crazy. That was crazy. That was crazy. Bowie Jane did not want to win. Do you think that it's that's an interesting thought, because do you think that it's possible that when she put that really, really low number that she was hoping that Felicia was going to beat her? I don't know. This is a great question, y'all. Who do y'all think that Bowie's going to target? I think she put 227 and then she added a 0, but it makes no difference. 27, 270. Matt Jag wanted her to gun for it, I think. I have a sense it's the Fugitives HOH because they basically going to play remote control when it comes to nominations. You can't leave Cam in the game. He beats everybody. It's true that he beats everybody, but in Bowie Jane's case, he doesn't want to take her out. He wants to be in final 2 with her. Bowie will target whoever Cam tells her to target. I'm thinking that's a possibility, but she had conversations with Jag and Matt, and Jag and Matt said they want Cam to get out. Oh, there was just so much action tonight that I'm just all over the place because there's been no action all week. And then all of a sudden there was a lot of action today. I didn't even recap the episode. Let's do a reverse. Let's reverse the week. Let's put Mark back in the house because Mark clearly had so much to talk about that he didn't even do the recap. So the recap started with part 2 of this power veto ceremony. Again, it was chopped up. It was edited clearly, but it showed America going at Felicia a little bit. Felicia obviously was not going to back down. Felicia was like, y'all are going to vote me out anyways. In that argument, Felicia said, me and Mimi did not approach you and Corey for this Final Four. Corey approached us with it. America was lying stone cold in front of everybody, and it looked convincing. Because if I didn't know that she was lying and they didn't show us the diary room entry, it was very convincing that she was not lying. But she lied because Corey did approach Felicia and Mimi for the final 2. So we fast forward a lot of conversations that we've already seen. Is it going to be Felicia? Is it going to be Mimi? Corey was not making sense with what he was saying. Because Corey said, oh, I want to keep Felicia because it would be funny. What was the other thing he said? I put it on my community post. He said it would be funny to keep Felicia, and there was one other reason that he said. I think that it was probably she can't win comps or something, but oh, here we go. He said, if Blue and Sari are the only votes to keep Felicia, it will paint a target on their backs. So this made no sense to me. A, it's funny. It would be funny to keep Felicia. That's stupid. But B, why would you think that Blue and Sari would not know in the Chatterhouse Alliance? Of course they're going to know. And of course, if they know that there's already everybody else is voting to get Mimi out, that they're not going to vote against that. So Corey's reasons for keeping Felicia were stupid. What happened after that? I guess Mimi was doing a little bit of campaigning today, like today. Too little, too late. You should have campaigned before. So we get to the eviction. It was very predictable. I knew it was going to be Mimi going out by unanimous vote, clearly. On the way out, Corey went to give her a hug. She put a finger up. She was like, you ain't getting no hug from me. She didn't hug Corey. She didn't hug America. She made an explosive for her. I mean, it wasn't like Michael. It wasn't on Michael level. It was probably like a 7 out of 10 compared to Michael's, but it was definitely the most exciting thing that she's done and said for the whole season, despite my personal enjoyment of watching her self-conversations. But in terms of a conversation she had with anyone else, it was the most interesting thing she said on her way out. Basically kind of reiterating what Felicia was saying. Don't trust them. You know, they're lying to everybody. Corey and America are lying to everyone. I liked that look on Corey's face. I like Corey feeling uncomfortable like that. All right, y'all. Now I did the recap. I don't know what got over me. I was probably just excited to play my video, and so much stuff happened tonight compared to nothing happening all week. She should have done that earlier. Oh, and the answer to your question, YTC, is I loved that call out. It's not the Broadway show Rent. That was a huge number. She would not survive on The Price is Right. Lewis, you took me back to 7th grade. I didn't miss it, Mark. You're just extremely behind on the comments. Hi, Charmed Life. But if she wasn't throwing, why did she get all the previous answers right? Bowie will probably target Felicia and Blue. Matt Jag will push for a Cam backdoor, so whoever she likes the most will win out. That's why I can't predict who she's gonna pick. My memory ain't even that good. I just have that ingrained in my brain. You be telling us about things that happened when you were 1, so your memory is very good. Mimi on the way out said Bowie was working with AmeriCorey. Oh yeah, thanks for reminding me. Yep. She said that Bowie is working with AmeriCorey, which is not even really. It was more the call out of AmeriCorey than it was that part of it, because Bowie's working with everybody. Mimi got played by Blue big time. Sari told Mimi it wasn't Corey leading the charge, and the house knows the real deal. I can see her putting Sari Felicia up. Yeah, that's what I could see. I think that the easiest choices to put on the block would probably be Sari and Felicia for her, and then a backdoor. You know they scrambling to redo Bowie's zing because you know her zing was going to be exactly that until she won. Yep. What have you done? I think they'll still make a zing. I'm so excited about Zingbot this year. I am so excited about Zingbot. I hope that Zingbot does not let us down. She said something about Zingbot as you've never seen them before. I wonder if it means they'll bring like another live comedian, something like that. Some people said they didn't like when Kathy Griffin did it. I liked it. They all have loose lips, which is why Corey's explanation did not make any sense. I'm catching up on these comments, y'all. Corey wanted to vote out Mimi and just let Sari and Blue, and making Felicia think that Felicia would go after Blue. Corey really wanted Blue and Sari to be outnumbered 5-2, but it was dumb for him to think that was even possible. And it was funny because I said this earlier. Matt was sitting in a room with all of them, and Corey was like, oh, I know that Blue went to Sari right away with that information because when I told her, she already knew. I watched Matt tell Sari first. I watched Bowie tell Sari second. And they weren't even suspects in informing Sari about the vote. Amazing. Amazing that these people are not seeing the people who are hiding in plain sight right in front of them. They just think Bowie and Matt are on another planet and they're low-key kind of running the game. Mimi pulled an Izzy on Corey. Yep. She put the one finger up. Michael said, I got one thing to say. That was super classic. And the look on Brittany's face after he threw her under the bus in that speech. Whoa. Corey eats his boogies. I loved Mimi's exit. I think our level of upsetting in the BB house is between 8 to 10. I'm at 9. She never played the game. I know. I have to redo my entire bingo card. I stopped doing it a few days ago because I knew most of my card was out of date and I needed to fix it. Everyone evicted hates Corey and none of them are in the jury. That's great for him. At least she looked great. She did. When did I ever remember anything about being one? You remember your imaginary friend. You remember the name of your imaginary friend. You remember a bunch of stuff. They got a 65-year-old white woman beating them in mental comps. I'm so disappointed with the season. I really think I'm done. Zingbot isn't going to do good zings. I hope you're wrong. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised, but I hope you're wrong. Hello, Patty. Good evening. I have no faith in Zingbot because the show worked hard to hide a lot of what's going on, so they can't ruin the image for the casuals. Some people say Bowie could put up Cam. Yeah. I mean, Mark, I haven't even seen the show tonight yet. I swear if Zingbot does lame zings, i.e. attacking physical appearance instead of game, I'm going to be mad. There's so many things. Yeah, this is a spoiler for anyone who has not seen it in their time zone or whatever. Do you think Jag would force Bowie to put up Cam? No. Force? No. No, not Jag. Ask her relentlessly? Yes. Run through scenarios relentlessly and try to convince her? Yes. Oh, yeah, I remember that was funny. Hi, Ma, you know me. I love spoilers. You would be great friends with Janet. Janet that's on my page? Or another Janet? It's another Janet. Yeah, I don't know this Janet you're talking about. Hi, Tasha. Good evening. Janet and I are great friends. My imaginary. I was being sarcastic, Ma. Normally you're up on that, but not tonight. Maybe it's the Mimi depression. Good evening. Good evening, Ronald. What jokes do you think Zingbot will say to Sari? Maybe jokes about her doing nothing, not playing veto, not winning any comps. I don't know. I really don't know what Zingbot would say to Sari. I wish Felissa would have thought faster. I know. And I was like, anything between Bowie's guess, which was extremely low, and 10,000 would have won her that comp. Hi, Kendra. Remind me what day are the nominations. The nominations are Friday. Bowie is going to go the path of least resistance since she seems to want to keep her alliance together. I think Cam had more influence. That's my thought, is that Cam has more influence. I think Cam would probably want her to backdoor Corey. And I think that Cam would want her to put either Sari and Felicia or Felicia and Blue. And then with the backdoor for Corey. Oh, yeah, I think, yeah, he would want Corey gone more than he would want America. Matter of fact, he wouldn't even really want America gone. He would want America there. Friday is nom, Saturday is veto comp, Monday is veto ceremony. Oh, so you are talking about Janet Johnson. So y'all know Janet Johnson from elsewhere? Because I met her via my page. I think she will put up Blue Felicia. I think that's a good possibility. No, it was Janet Johnson that we are talking about, the woman, the myth, the legend. Janet Johnson was one of my first. I don't know if she was my first mod, but she was one of my first 3 mods. I don't know if she was the first one, but one of the first 3 for sure. I definitely agree. She doesn't look like she ain't going to make a big move. Sari did bad in the competition. She said she wasn't going to be part of the. She was like slow with all of her true or false guesses. I'm like, are you trying to lose this? Well, you talking about my memory since I was 1. I did not have an imaginary friend back then. I was too busy pooping in my diaper. I don't think Cam has as much influence as people think. Bowie cried because she didn't want to be lumped in with him. Thanks, Ma. Oh, y'all are all over there. Got you. I know her from Cliff's page. We write each other all the time. What's up, Trill homie? I watched the Traders Canada first episode, by the way. Thanks for that link. It was a pretty good episode. Although when I watched the first Traders, I think that they had already released 3 or 4 episodes. I hate watching them one at a time, so you don't see who they killed at the end of the episode. Felicia called America weak in the kitchen. She was hiding behind Corey. Ruthless. I loved it. Cliff videos. I still haven't found my way over there, but I will. Oh, she's my spirit animal also. For sure, she's my spirit animal. Man,
Okay.
why'd you have to do this, Mimi?
If I win, somebody ain't Diddy bopping.
Right.
Okay. I can tell you that.
Mm-hmm.
If I win, one of them won't be Diddy bopping.
Mm-hmm. I think those guys.
Okay.
And so they're all still going to be Diddy bopping, unfortunately. Sari looks miserable in that house. Miserable. She looks like her spirit is dead in that house. She's just going through the motions of every day. The first half of the season, she was laughing, joking, and she looked like she was just having a grand old time. Now she's like, I'm just going to sit back and not do anything. Y'all aren't going to blame me for anything. I'm just going to be here. Whatever y'all want me to do, wherever y'all want me to vote. I'm not talking to anybody. I'm not campaigning about anything. I'm not doing anything. I'm just here. I'm just here just to be here. She might be getting a pretty solid paycheck, though. It was so funny. She was looking for backup. Oh, yeah, he just left. He's like, oh, want to play bumper pool? He was like, I'll take on Jared, but I will not take on Mama Fee. I think it was a failure for Cam. I think it was a major, mega failure if he thinks that sending Mimi home was more important than sending Corey home. I'm just happy to see a woman HOH after all these weeks. I don't think he had any reason to get rid of Mimi. Me neither. So I think it was a failed week for Cam. That's my favorite, not going to lie. Who's HOH? Bowie. Bowie won HOH. I was like, poor America, but really, I wasn't sorry. We ain't Diddy bopping tonight. We are not Diddy bopping tonight, y'all. Bowie Jane is HOH. Effing Bowie Jane. She pulled one out. Felicia was so close until she picked that terrible number. Traders Canada being the only weekly version of the show is weirdly annoying. It is, because I'm so used to just binging them. I'm so used to just binging all the episodes, so it feels like I watched and nothing really happened. Bowie won something. Yep, that's what we're talking about. The reaction to finding out about Jared and she was really surprised. That guess of Cameron and America. That was weird. That was a weird guess, Mimi. That was a strange guess. Corey is trying to lower his target level, but since he's the house scapegoat, he should just lean into it at this point. It would be hilarious if Sari wins BB. It would. That was funny when Corey said we can talk in private and told Felicia we can play some pool. And the funny thing is, now you're thinking about that after that huge public blowout with Jared. Last night on the feed, Sari was commiserating with Felicia and counting down the wees left in the game. Careful, I have my boxing gloves with me. What are we boxing over today, Patty? I'm going to use Diddy bopping as much as I can in my daily life. I will Diddy bop in Mimi's honor. Can I get a Diddy bop one time?
Okay. Well, guess what? If I win, somebody ain't Diddy bopping.
Right. Okay.
I can tell you that.
Mm-hmm.
If I win, one of them won't be Diddy bopping.
Mm-hmm.
If I have the clip of, I wonder if I have the clip of when she said, "Jesus, you were way too stingy with the common sense." That was one of the first. That was probably part of that same rant, as a matter of fact. I was dying. I'm trying to see if I had uploaded that video. I think I did. Anyways, that's not that important right now. That is not that important at this moment. You were way too stingy with the common sense. She said something like, you needed to just disperse that around a little better. Mimi is me at work. Felicia looked miserable when she found out she had to do the tiebreaker. It was definitely random. It was definitely random. She started off like she was doing math calculations, and then I think she was just like, let me just pick a number. I think that Corey is starting to realize that. I think that I think that this week, as a matter of fact, I don't think that Corey really realized it at first, but I think that now he's catching up to all the information, and he knows that a lot of people are gunning for him. If Felicia had won, Corey would be in trouble. Felicia would probably have put Corey and Cam on the block together. Front door, not back door. Can we get a Diddy bop in the chat? Tough crowd. Nobody requested the Diddy bop. I guess people are upset that Mimi's out.
I'm just like, this is all way too much. It's so stupid.
Oh, 627. Okay. It wasn't 270. I knew she added a number on there. I forgot what it was. But either way, her number was way off because there's probably more minutes than that in one day. Yeah, there's like double that amount of minutes in a day. In one day. Felicia would 100% put up Cam Corey. Corey's DR was enlightening. He knows others are targeting him, but he also knows he needs to stay on Jag Matt's good side for now. I mean, there's only so many numbers at this point. So him going up is not whether he's on anyone's good side. It's just who wins the HOH at this point. Because now we're at jury numbers. Oh, we got a Comerica fan in the building. We got a Comerica fan. I can't wait till Comerica gets split up. You know, I wasn't a fan of Mimi, but I wish Felicia would have went home. Yeah, I mean, I'm sad that Mimi's not in the game, but I'm also sad that Mimi wasn't playing the game. Because I said this earlier, I think that was the difference between her staying and her going. Because in this house, they are so insecure, they need a million reassurances. So it might not have seemed like Felicia's campaigning was doing. I assure you that I'm not voting for you. If I win the HOH, I'm not trying to get you out. I'm going to be gunning for Corey, or I'm going to be gunning for this person. I promise you that I'm not going to target you. I'm going to vote the way that you want. Whatever she had to say. And then Mimi's like, I'm not campaigning. So they all had an easy excuse to say, I don't know what she's going to do. So that makes her dangerous. And plus, oh, she finished second here, she finished third here, and she finished second here. So she's a comp threat. They don't require much to put somebody up. So if Mimi had done just a little bit of campaigning, like she thinks all campaigning is butt kissing, she didn't have to do that. Just make a few points. You see Corey do it all the time. It's not that hard. Not in this house. Not in this house. It's easy to sway people in this house. I think if Corey goes to jury, America's game improves. Of course it does. Let's fight Patty. America has good reads, but Corey overrides those reads. But I think that they balance each other out. That's my opinion on them. I think they balance each other out, because I think that if Corey wasn't there, America would have done the most trying to be a Big Brother star, and she'd be out already. That's what I think about that. Corey, she's overly on go mode too much, and he's overly I don't even know what to call it. Hesitant. He's overly hesitant, and she's overly like hasty with the things that she wants to do. So I think that they complemented each other in that way, even though they're not what I would call like some kind of super power couple in the game. I just think their personalities happen to balance each other out and get them both along further in the game. Because Corey would have been out of the game with an idol in his pocket. For anyone who watches Survivor, they know what that's a reference to. But for anyone who doesn't watch Survivor, basically, Corey would be a guy that has all the intel, but then sits there and lets Sari run the game because he's scared to upset the balance. And then they would be like, okay, now it's Corey's time to get out. But because America was there, America was willing and able to go put the battery in Cam's back to shift this whole game that started this Jared and Corey fight and got Izzy out of the house. America did that. America is the biggest winner with Mimi leaving, as that's one less person the guys can consider taking to the end for a sure win. They aren't great for each other's game. It would be a power move for Bowie to put them up. Do you think Cam would have used the veto if Felicia wouldn't have called out Corey about her coming? I think that put something in his head. And even Taran said that on the podcast, on Rob Has a Podcast. Taran said that I was listening to their podcast a couple of days ago, and he was like, that conversation that Felicia had with Cam actually influenced him, because he was talking about the image that he would have if he took down Felicia and put Corey up there, because he said he didn't want the image that he was trying to get Corey out so that he could have America to himself. Yeah, BB25, everybody talks. Nobody holds water. I'm over it, but I'm happy the numbers are dwindling down. We are on day 65 in the house. 35 days left, unfortunately. I think they said last year was 82 days. It was 80 something. I think 82. So 35. I'm just checking these numbers really quick. You guys can tell me how many likes that you see. I see 31 people in here, and I see 22 likes. Not bad. It's better than earlier, but still.
What sense does that make? The math is not mathing.
To the gift that keeps on giving. She even gave us a gift on the way out with that exit. That was hilarious. But please make those likes match the number of people in here. It boosts me in the algorithm. It shows that y'all are engaged in my content. Please and thank you. We need the math. Cam swore to Mimi that she was only a pawn. She sure did. I mean, he sure did. Why did they end Tuesday episode the way they did? Because they're running out of content and they're getting lazy. They left us on a cliffhanger and gave us a fresh nothing burger straight out the oven. And you know that fight was more than what they showed. You know they showed a very clipped up version of that. What's the lesson learned here? Pawns go home unless your name is Cameron. And it's crazy that 2 pawns are still sitting there in the house and 2 unanimously evicted house guests are still sitting there in the house. I think Cam trusting Jag was his downfall for sure. A strong 136 pounds. Hey, I weigh about the same. This ought to be a fun fight. Better get that math in. Yes, please get that math in. I see 16 likes. I totally didn't forget to like. I think Jag and Matt are playing. They don't want to take a shot, which is why I want both of them out. Well, I kind of want Matt in there because I am just so intrigued by the fact that nobody notices all the different things that Matt is saying and doing. Cam keeps bringing the convo up. Corey and America are actively playing in his face. Cam's barely controlled anger at Corey has been off-putting to Bowie as well. I just realized BB is on season 25. The Amazing Race is 35. Survivor is on 45. The math is mathing. Interesting. I did not think about that. Retro, do you want to jump on? Or are you going to bed soon? Hit like, everyone. By the way, follow Retro's channel. Jag loves his Onion Alliance. Matt just wants Cam gone. Verse next Thursday. Comic verse next Thursday, and I'm gonna guess a double eviction soon once again. Yeah, it's either got to be next week or the week after. I'll throw that in there just in case. Oh, you just got home? Okay. Well, thanks for jumping on or jumping in the chat. Triple eviction. If you go on later, I'll probably be up. This is Retro's channel that she just put in the chat. Let me pin that. I just pinned it. Follow her channel. She covers a lot of the same things that I'm covering. Big Brother, Survivor, Traders, all that stuff. BB Can. You have to love Retro After Dark. Yeah, that's the new that's the new show. It's like Big Brother After Dark, except better. From what I've heard. Big Brother, I've never even saw Big Brother After Dark, but everyone always talks about it. It sounds like it was an interesting time. The reason why I was on so late tonight, the reason that I've been on late Thursdays is because of this weird scheduling thing. And I watched the challenge and I refuse to have my show spoiled because I used to hop on here and then watch the challenge afterwards. And then people would put in the comments, oh, how about such and such going home? And I was like, you know what? That means I have to watch the episode right after Big Brother and then come on, so it can't be spoiled for me. Cam for comps, 4 comps in a row this week, took full control, and then look what he did. I know. I'm happy that Cameron is safe. I'm upset at Cameron's choices. The Traders is not on YouTube. It's a Peacock series for anyone who has Peacock. You can follow Retro's TikTok. She has it on there. And I think it's also on Reddit. I remember a handful of times I always somehow woke up at 2:59 a.m. and watched Julie sign off. Julie was on like Big Brother After Dark. She was hosting or something. I think Cam deserves to be in the house. Me too, Patty. Yeah, please don't spoil Challenge USA. I love that he is a super fan. Cam, you're talking about? Yeah. I didn't even realize he was a super fan until I heard him say it on the feeds earlier this week. Do you love that this week is unlikely? Bowie is not the first choice that I would have wanted to win, but she's one of them. She's one of the 4 that I wanted to win. So I'm fine with Bowie winning, because even if she does happen to do as expected, at least it's a different person in that HOH room making choices. That's why I said it. I think it was a oh, I see what you mean. BB After Dark didn't hide. I'm not surprised. The After Dark thing was something that just happened in general. I don't know if it was like that. I mean, I wasn't in the US, but when I was in Canada, Retro will know what channel I'm talking about. We had a channel called City TV, and there was like a couple other channels where after midnight, they showed a whole nother other stuff after midnight. Cable television used to be wild. I mean, now it's still kind of wild because, you know, you could order anything or watch anything on digital cable, but your regular cable package used to get wild after midnight. He isn't scared. I can't believe Bowie won. Me neither. Cam's a survivor. Cam needs to be on. Sari was telling him, asking him if he'd go on Survivor, and he was like, oh yeah, I'd definitely go on Survivor. And she was like, you would be really good on Survivor. I agree. I agree. His only hard part would be downplaying his threat level. That would be his main difficulty on Survivor. Oh, she did a pre-recorded outro. BB After Dark was live feeds just on cable, but they probably weren't cut as much, I'm sure. On the channel called Pop back in BB 21 or 22. Yes, Patty. I didn't know that Cam was a super fan. Yeah, I saw him talking about it. He was talking to, I can't remember. It was either Bowie or Jag and Matt, one of that group. And he said, America's a super fan and I'm a super fan. I know just as much about the game as she does. And I'm just as good at mental comps as Corey. He was like, Corey is much smarter than me in life. But in the Big Brother world, like, we're equals, basically. Big Brother After Dark was 3 hours of feeds on television. Yes, Pop, I remember it. Did you know Bowie Jane nickname is Butters? I heard that. I loved it. Yes. I was on Speaker's Corner. Ma, what did the article basically say? I think he said that. I think he said he applied for Survivor. Much Music. That's another Canadian reference. Much Music. Big Brother After Dark was just switching around one camera, I guess. House guests didn't get the protection they do now. Even some of the stuff that I saw on the past seasons would not have made it. I heard I don't have the bandwidth, Retro. I'll probably go back and start watching BB UK once BB US ends. Not because BB US is any good right now, but just because there's no way I can cover another show. BB21 was the last time Big Brother After Dark showed. What an answer from Felicia. I hate how Cam always has the arrow on his back. I think Cliff Hogg got to take Orwell home. You wouldn't know what this comment is saying, though. Absolutely not. BB UK is going to be public vote, just like the original. Boring. That was HBO/Showtime that would get wild after dark here. The weird part is the channel that I'm talking about was like City TV. They would show Caroline in the city, and they would show Frasier, and then they would have the 11 o'clock news, and then you're like, whoa, what is this? I really hope not Kendra. Are there any other Canadians on here? Y'all know what I'm talking about. He seemed to know the info well. Oh, I missed your question. Do you think Cam would have won the comp if he played? Yes. Yes, I do. Much music was cool. I miss music videos. Trill, it's going to be fun. Why are 90% of these comps true, false, or ABC comps? Can you put the math isn't mathing? I did that already, but I will certainly do it again upon request.
What sense does that make? The math is not mathing.
I take super chat and super thanks. You already did. I don't know what Felicia was thinking. As soon as I fix my PayPal, I'm going to get a membership on here. Thank you. I remember CTV. CTV was the other one. CTV did it too. Yep. Yeah, I'm not saying it on here, but Retro is correct about what those channels would show after dark. You ever put the live feeds on Quad View? Yep. I was saying this last season because last season is when I just started getting into the live feeds, and I was like, man, I feel like I'm a security guard on duty here. Sorry, I need to go. Oh, you're originally from Ontario. I was born in Hamilton. Patty, get back here. Patty, my fellow Canadian. Yeah, they would go from showing like wholesome sitcom shows to showing other things, cheeks in the air. I'm like, how can they put this stuff on cable? And like cable back then, when you had 30 channels, and that was one of your 30 channels. Matter of fact, City TV was not even you didn't even have to pay to get that channel. That was a channel you could get with the bunny airs. Ma, you should visit Canada. The legal drinking age is 19. And they don't ask for ID, so you're good. Ma's answer, I'm not 19, sir. I'm 20. Say hi to him for me, Patty. Make sure you come hang out with us on my panel sometimes. Yes, Retro has a panel, and Retro's panel is always interesting. Yeah, so that's all I got. Mimi goes home. I was so sad about that, even though I knew it was happening. Tell me more about the cheeks in the air, please. I cannot. You will have to contact City TV programming. Look it up. I remember back then, Tech TV showed a news report satellite TV was illegal in Canada. Let's see who else, is anyone else here from Canada? Let's see what we had. We had YTV, which showed all the cartoons. There was what was that thing called? Phil and something. That weird looking bubblegum thing. We had Breaker High, Student Bodies. Now we get more Mr. B. Yeah, we get hella Mr. B. We even get more Mr. B this year than last year. I thought last year was censored. This year is even more censored. Retro's panel be going cray sometimes. Great stuff. Especially when Michelle and Clover are on there. Oh, Mr. B, Miss Retro. I visited Canada once when I was 1. I see what you did there. Yes, Trill, you never know what's going to happen. Wait, you have TV in Canada. I mean, I know Canada's a third world country and everything, but yeah. That was a joke, by the way. I think that everyone's guess of Blue and Felicia is a pretty good guess. Felicia gonna ask for more oxtails. They were like, man, we got this demanding lady out of here. But she's not really out of here. She's still here. Michelle is the bomb.com. All right, everybody. I think that's about it for me tonight. But I want to thank everybody for your support. Thank you for jumping on. Thank you for your comments, likes. Canada really be a fourth world country. Love you too. Appreciate you jumping on. Mark, get back here. Everyone is get back here, Ma. I'm confused that Corey wanted to vote out Mimi. I'm confused too. I am very confused by that because now he has an enemy in the house who will not vote for him in jury unless he's sitting next to Cam. That's the only way I can see that. Good night, Charm Life. Mama Fee's going to cook a good meal. She cleaned up nice for them today, too. Here's one of Ma's random comments jumping in because it's 12:02 here, so it's Ma after dark. Will you give us an update tomorrow after NAMS? For sure. NAMS usually seem to take place in the afternoon, right? I think they take place sometime in the afternoon. But I think I think last week, the NAMS didn't take place until pretty late. Like, I was already off work when the NAMS happened. And on that note, thanks for giving us a good place to close off. One more time for our evicted house guest, Mimi.
Okay. Well, guess what? If I win, somebody ain't diddy bopping.
Right. Okay.
I can tell you that.
Mm-hmm.
If I win, one of them won't be diddy bopping.
Mm-hmm. I think so.
Well, that said, one of y'all won't be diddy bopping. One of y'all won't be diddy bopping. Of Korean camera final 2. Do you think that you're trying to get more questions in here, huh? Yeah, but they'll give Bowie time to do her one-on-ones. This is why I need a YouTube chat. I tried to do this before and all you complained when I was like, oh, let me do a silent chat where I'm not talking and you guys can just talk in the chat. And everyone was like, why don't I hear you? Why don't I see you? Y'all still want to chat when I leave. Yeah, Janet, they were referencing you, Patty and Ma. They said we are an alliance of 3 called the 3 Amigos. They said you're the 3rd amigo, but then Patty left and you joined. So I'm not saying that you and Patty are the same person, but I am saying I have not seen you on here at the same time. I think you need to go on the block next to Patty. And Ma is going to be the backdoor option. That's what I'm thinking. Unless somebody wants to use the power of veto. Unless Ma wins the power of veto, rather. I'm going to miss you, Mimi. It's been a pleasure. Keep biddy booing. You ain't diddy bopping, Janet. Yes, Ma. Biddy booping. R.I.P. Brown Sugar Babes. They done. I just outed y'all alliance, Janet and Ma. I outed y'all alliance. Don't trust Ma and Janet. They're working together with Patty. They are the 3 amigos. Just letting y'all know before I log off. If you thought about trusting them and you thought that they were trustworthy, don't. They're spreading lies on the chat. They're making everybody not trust each other. And they are the reason why the algorithm gods don't send me enough people. You will not win that veto. I'm going to win the HOH and the veto and keep the noms the same. Actually, no, I will not keep the noms the same. I will take Janet off the block and I'll put you on the block, Ma, and you will be my target. Just letting you know because I'm truthful and straightforward. I've been here for a short time, just unable to type. You had a BB moment. Everything is a BB moment. I put on my community that somebody said something dumb at work the other day, and that Mimi thing went through my head. Like, my answer that I wanted to give them was this.
What sense does that make? The math is not mathing.
But I stopped myself. Be quiet. I'm putting you on the block forever. I'm going to keep winning, okay? I am going to keep winning. You know why? Because...
Okay. Well, guess what? If I win, somebody ain't diddy bopping.
Right. Okay.
I can tell you that.
Mm-hmm.
If I win, one of them won't be diddy bopping.
Mm-hmm.
Ma, you will not be diddy bopping. Thank you about telling me you like the background. I have one thing to say, please. I have just one thing to say. You think Patty and I are the same person? No, I don't, Janet. I'm making a joke. Yes, appreciate that. And I am out. Thank you once again. Like, comment, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. Appreciate y'all.
So you literally were one of my very first followers. And then when you followed me and I, followed back, I was like, this dude is cool. Like,
if they say talk to your manager, you just say, you know what, talk to the hand. You don't need to be on my podcast. But yeah, dude. Yeah, you do a great job.
Thank you. I always get a kick out of talking with you on Patreon. You have a really good, view on everything.
That wasn't planned.
You know what?
Thank
but
you.
I like this Canadian.
Well,
I like this one.
Well,